What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast, episode 285. I'm one of your hosts, Neo Ayoshi, alongside Trip Zero,
What's up, guys? It's Trip Zero.
Lock and Key,
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
and the illustrious Felix Hergood.
This is old Felix Hergood here.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Oh, Felix Hergood.
Old Felix Hergood.
Wow.
Well, this is the
285,
Emergent. This is the Emergent Gamer Podcast. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe there. Subscribe to us on all your podcast platforms of choice. And yeah, please. We're still killing it. We are killing it on YouTube and podcasts. That is what we're doing. Guys, what have you been up to?
Well, I was going to say, fun fact, this is 285, and the Nintendo debuted in 1985, if I'm not mistaken. It might be 84, but I think it's 85.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's the year that's the year I lusted
Oh.
after it as a child. I was 7. And I
True story. Nintendo, hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
Ancient, even.
Mm-hmm.
But,
They used to make
Ancient
Hanafuda
company.
cards.
yeah, if you want me to talk about what I've been up to, I'll be real brief. It is
Sure.
real
I
brief.
would love nothing more to know what you've been up to, man.
Yeah.
Let's just say
I'm
push
not
it,
lying.
push it out
you
there.
to.
Push it out there.
Yeah.
I mentioned before the show that like I kind of put my effort this week into like finishing some TV shows, so I got into that. I'm not going to go into detail about that because this is a fucking game podcast. I get it.
Video games.
I want to open Valhalla, but I don't feel fully confident doing that until I've completely understood the story of Odyssey. And I don't think that means, in my assessment, that they're going to be connected. I don't think they're going to be connected in any way whatsoever.
Of course they are.
Well, with the exception of maybe the stuff. What is her name? What's the chick's name? I'm trying to remember. None of you guys played this, so I can't remember. But
Are you talking about, is this like a
Layla?
like
I think
a modern day? Modern
Yeah,
day,
her first name is
protagonist?
Layla. I think her last name's Hasim. I'm not really sure, or Kazim. I can't remember. But Layla, whatever her name is. That stuff I'm not clear on, and because I played the game so disparately, I'm always running around the map doing all this collecting shit and doing all that, and I want to get all the icons on the map. So I didn't follow the story. And then I finished the game recently, and it offered me the new game plus, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to fucking rip the story. And that's what I did. And I did the main story in 11 hours. They say it's 40. I did it in 11. But I think what they're talking about is also all the individual cultists, because the whole plot behind the story is that the cultists take over and they all of Greece, and they try and like bring down your family. And
I guess you have to target the cultists.
Yeah, and
do
there's
all that
clues.
shit.
Some of them are puzzles. Like, you have to talk, like one of them's talk to a merchant and buy a piece of evidence about a cultist who's local. A couple of them are play a few story quests from the local people to support them to reveal the location of the cultists. Some of them are just on the fucking map. And the clue that you find out about them says this cultist is specifically at this spot where you can kill them any way you want. But the ones that are a part of story quests, you literally have to figure out by playing the story who they are. And you can't, they won't reveal on the map. You can't just find them randomly on the map. But I really wanted to go through and understand the story, and I finished it, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really, really good story. It gripped me, and affected me emotionally as I went from scene to scene, and I was really surprised at that, because I didn't get any of that when I played it the other way. And I think with Valhalla, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and rip that story. I'm going to do it first. I think
what happens with these large Assassin's Creed games, like beginning with Origins, like you end up spending so much time running around and doing side stuff and killing and missions and stuff, you end up losing the threads because you spend so much time like in the weeds. You spend time in the weeds with them, That happens with like any open world game. It's not just Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it happens all the time with me. So
Yeah.
I always do this big open world playthrough where I collect all the shit and then go back with a new game plus and usually play the story. And that's what
That's a smart idea.
That's what I did all this week. But I think I might do it the other way around with Valhalla.
So you said you don't want to start Valhalla until you fully understand the story of Odyssey. What does that mean? Like, do you plan on
specifically
doing something else
with
to
all
beat
the
it already
with all the Layla stuff? I know she shows up in Valhalla, and I want to understand what exactly happened to her throughout the course of that part of the story. When you go out to the, because I don't really remember all that at all or understand. I have vague memory of like what had occurred with it, but not like I wasn't paying attention. I was live streaming most of that game, so I don't really. And I know she's going to show up, and I just kind of want to know like what happened to her. But I'm almost done. I'm almost done that. I'll be probably done it tonight or the next day.
I saw on Twitter you platinumed it.
Yeah. In terms of like getting everything
Awesome.
everything completed, yeah, it's done. So that's good. And I didn't get a retweet, but I got a like and a comment from Ubisoft Quebec.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. They responded, and with like the strong arm symbol, like.
Oh hell yeah! That's awesome.
You got some intern excited there, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, some guy on their Twitter is just like, oh my god.
Oh shit! You did. Holy crap!
Isn't that cool?
He said on lunch, he's like, all right.
He said 345 hours well spent, and then the flex arm.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
Good for you, man.
But like I said, in a matter of like days, I'm gonna be completely done that story, and then I'll just rip right into Valhalla.
Nice.
You convinced me last week, Locke. You convinced me. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the smarter thing to do. Like, just from for someone like myself, I don't care in the slightest about whatever this girl's name is and what her story is. But for you, like, why would you play another game in between those two games? It just doesn't make sense from a cohesion standpoint,
I get it.
By the time you get back to it, you're gonna need to fucking watch a YouTube video to remember what happened in Odyssey, because you're gonna spend 100+ hours in this other game, and you're not gonna remember anything from Odyssey by the time you get back to Valhalla. So it doesn't make sense.
It's definitely true.
Yeah.
Done the tutorial in whatever Norse land you're in. You're like, I don't know what's happening anymore.
Here's the other thing that and this is just a little side note. The one other thing that I might do, depends on how vast it is I think I'm going to take the Discovery Tour after I finish the game. Discovery Tour is where you do like the museum.
It's like the museum.
It's like a
museum tour.
Yeah. That was such a cool idea when they rolled that out.
Right. Well, it was a great idea when I did it in the. You had to do
Origins.
It though in Origins for trophies. This time I think I'm just going to do it for education.
It's a great reason to do anything.
I'm curious about ancient Greece, and I'm definitely. I mean, me and Locke can probably agree on this. Like, if they have a Discovery Tour that they release for Valhalla, I'm taking that tour because I really want to know.
For sure.
I really want to know more about Viking history and shit. So
yeah, like dealing with like Wessex and the, before England was England, like that whole time period is so interesting. So it would be like a very depressing tour compared to the other tours.
Whatever.
It was like, here's this burned down village. Here's this priest that's been crucified.
Oh, I did want to ask you, does that game have a lot of structured demolition in it? Like more than like destroying buildings and stuff? Because Assassin's Creed games don't really up until this point don't really have that. Okay, so there's still the engine. They didn't increase the engine to do more structural
to
damage.
do that. No,
because it'd be cool to like shoot an arrow into a building and then have the whole damn thing burned down.
Yeah, like I've seen roofs catch on fire, but then like
they go out 5 minutes later.
It just like makes the people run out of the building, but doesn't like.
I saw that somebody uses that as a tactic to get people they need to assassinate out of a building.
Yeah, which is cool, but like
that's pretty cool.
But like the building doesn't burn down. Like it's not like destructive enough to where like you would decimate. That would be really cool.
Remember back in the day,
it's similar tech to Odyssey is my guess.
Yeah. They didn't like upgrade their engine when they made that game.
Oh God, no. It's Ubisoft.
Hey, their year breaks are over now. You know what I'm saying? They're back on that AC train.
Yeah, until we get to another hump where just trash over and over again, and they're gonna be like, "All right, we're going back. We're taking a break."
But yeah, that was my
cool.
week, guys. Anyone else want to move? Yeah.
Trip, what do you got?
Well, I still have been ripping Stardew Valley. We got pretty deep into the new island stuff since I finished my challenge successfully, which was to save the
Nice.
town in less than a year. I think I talked about it before, but in general, the idea is there's this community center, and you can revitalize the town by fixing different rooms in the center, as opposed to supporting Joja Mart, which is like an Amazon stand-in that's like trying to like move in and get everyone to buy shit from them. And you can like you have to donate different things in bundles depending on the theme of the room. Like one bundle is like, you know, crops from every season. One bundle might be like fish in like different areas and times of the year you can scoop them out. There's a challenge to do all that in year one, which can be a little hard because it does need some things that you can't grow until year two. So you have to get creative in how you find these materials. So that was a fun challenge with the new update because there are new things, new farms, and there are ways to guarantee that you can do it in year one and also remix what you have to put in. So it was a fun little challenge. But there's like a new island now with like a volcano and ways to like upgrade your weapons that never existed before. And they've added just so many things to Stardew that I might actually try to 100% the game and find all of the really expensive, rare things. But on Monday night, me and Locke hopped into Trials of Osiris in Destiny 2.
Whoa.
Which is the first Trials weekend of this season. And, oh man, outside of like maybe one or two random games, the longest consecutive time I've spent in Trials in Destiny 2. And certainly since it's come back, for sure.
Did you guys hit that lighthouse?
Did not hit the lighthouse. But what they've done reward-wise is split out some guaranteed rewards based on how many wins you get. And this week's easiest to obtain reward, the 3-win reward, is a new pulse rifle called the Messenger. And everyone wanted this pulse rifle because it has a perk called Desperado, where every time you get, is it headshot hits or headshot kills?
Precision kill.
Why do I remember a D1 messenger?
There was. This was the Trials Messenger is an old D1 Trials pulse.
And it was a pulse then, right? Yeah.
Yep.
See, I don't know if Desperado was a Destiny 1
It was
perk
not.
or if they renamed it something. It wasn't. So this perk now on this gun increases your fire rate after you reload after precision kill. So you start ripping shots incredibly fast, and that can chain obviously with the more kills you get, and the gun's insane. So that was our goal. Me, Locke, and our community member Modified got together and did our best to click some heads, man. And I personally did a lot better than I thought. But the trial scene overall is a little bit of a mess. I know we've talked about that on the show a little bit with PvP and some of the different subclass balancing and stuff like that. But it was a fun time, dude.
It's still Locke or Trip either can answer. It's still Trials the way where like each tier you get to, you're playing players that have successfully gotten to that tier.
Yeah,
right? That's how it is.
Ideally, yeah. I'm sure
You're not getting randos. You can never randomly get somebody so bad that you just destroy.
Yeah, their first matchmaking priority is your card, I believe, and they'll have a tiered system if they can't find someone quick enough.
So how does Osiris feel with the current PvP issues that I keep hearing about? Is that intertwined with this? For sure. Okay.
Yeah, because Trials is just a game mode. It's the most like challenging and engaging. And obviously, Locke can speak to this a lot more in depth than I can. But the problems with PvP shine arguably the most in a mode like Trials because you're playing on any given weekend. It's the same map. You know, like you're changing spawns, but you're playing the same map for consistency. You're playing very, very high level and highly skilled players, but you're also in a mode that has some of the best rewards in the game. So you're going to be playing a lot of players in general. People that are going to be cheating, people that are going to be like leaning on like the crutchiest weapons, which in turn influences the rest of PvP to lean on the similar crutches to be able to compete. It kind of exacerbates all of the standout PvP issues, and you can elaborate, obviously, Locke, to that if you need to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you did a good job summarizing it. The reason why Trials this weekend was so much better than any other weekend is because one of the newest and best weapons that you can get right now was related to getting to 3 wins, and a larger scale of people can make it to 3 wins than can make it flawless, obviously. So more people were playing it, trying to get to 3 wins, which makes the population of it go up, right? So, you end up.
Think they did that on purpose?
No, they're not smart enough for that.
No credit is deserved.
So, I think that definitely played a factor. So, like, the biggest issue, in my opinion, with Trials is the reward structure and how it doesn't engage people that are not super big into the PvP competitive scene to want to play the game mode, because that's a complete opposite of what it was in D1. Like, everyone played Trials in D1 for the vast majority, except probably for the people that really, really hated player versus player. But the reward structure just doesn't make sense. Like, for a perfect example of this is typically in Iron Banner, let's say you get 5 tokens if you win a game, and you get 3 tokens if you lose a game, and 20 tokens allows you to turn that in to get a reward package. Well, in Trials, if you win a game, you get a single token, and if you lose a game, you get no tokens. So it takes 20 wins just to be able to turn in a package and get a random weapon to drop. So 20 wins for a group of players that are not that great, they will never be able to get 20 tokens. They just won't be able to do it. I would be surprised if they even made it to 10 before they wanted to uninstall the game. So it just doesn't make sense for a lot of people. In terms of the game mode itself, like, it's definitely the most fun that I have playing PvP. The weapon sandbox, in my opinion, is probably in the best spot that it's been in a long time. There's glaring problems with it, but from a diversity standpoint, it's in a pretty good spot. So yeah, I had a great time. It was awesome for Trip to hop in and play. I'm glad we were able to get to the messenger. So yeah, we'll see how it goes in, what's today, Wednesday? A couple more days.
Wednesday, yeah,
because it'll be back in 2 more days, and we'll see what this next weekend looks like from a reward standpoint, and what it, how it pans out.
For sure, it'll be fun. Hopefully I can use any tokens that I get to get a different Desperado, because out of the 5 that I got, I didn't get different messenger, because out of the 5 that I got, I didn't get Desperado on the messenger. But I was looking at some role comparisons, and Kill Clip isn't too bad. I followed Mercules on your suggestion a while ago, and he did a Twitter thread breaking down like the time to kill between the 2 perks primarily. And Kill Clip, I think, can out DPS, but obviously it's more situational,
right?
And you don't have to do like the reload procking with Desperado. There's so many more benefits to Desperado, which gives it, the clear edge. Perk
no,
preference.
Kill Clip is not bad. I mean, reminder that before this came out, Kill Clip is like one of the top tier PvP perks that's always existed. So it's still a great perk to have on the gun for sure. But yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I got a palindrome today.
Oh, nice, dude. Hell yeah.
I ran 2 nightfalls, and on my second nightfall I got one. It's trash. It's not a good roll, but it was just cool to see it again, and I used it for
man.
Yeah. I was reading
was great, and it was one of my favorite D1 PvP color schemes when palindrome hit.
The orange and blue.
The orange and blue,
it's dope. Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, so I mean, it was cool to see that gun come back. I'll probably grind some more to try and get a good one, because using the 140s in PvP felt ridiculous after only using the 120s for so long.
Oh, I'm sure.
It fired so fast in comparison.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really been doing anything else. I've been just playing Destiny, playing the new expansion, which I've been enjoying myself.
It's been great this year. A lot better than last month's season. Like the Beyond Light campaign was great, but the season of the hunt in general was kind of lackluster. Like it had a good story, but beyond that, the hunts themselves were a little bit simple, easy, just not really engaging. The season's been great. The event's great. The new Nightfall rewards are great. There was a secret mission that came out this week that was just incredible design, incredible atmosphere. The exotic that it rewards is great. Like this season is like an unexpected, unexpected like winter Like the winter spring transition hasn't always been incredible. This has been a really, really good couple months or weeks, 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes for sure. Nia, what have
This
you been up
game's
to?
this game's gonna last forever, man. Destiny is just they're
Really
just
is.
gonna ring
That's their
that
plan.
towel.
Well, we're
You
going
know?
to be playing it in like our full suit VRs running on our 360 treadmills, fucking with the headset and like the weighted thing that feels like a gun that just gives our hands like the tactile shit. We're going to be doing that.
Destiny 2 expansion 30. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't
Yep.
wait to see that. You
Mm-hmm.
know? What I've been up to, not much. I got Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Nice.
And I got to play that over the weekend. Another game which I did not get to enjoy because that was a Wii U game and I did not have a Wii U. So I'm all about snatching up those like, you know, Nintendo gems that I didn't, you know, get to experience on those platforms. I love Galaxy. Sunshine I didn't really get a chance to like dive into because they released that pack a few months ago. But
Did you get Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze when they re-released that?
no, that is another
Cool.
one I didn't
That's
get.
a great game.
And you know what? I'm gonna get it on sale, but I love the country games on Super Nintendo. Like I had all three of those, and I loved every second of them. So for sure, it is backlogged. Eventually, I will get it. But over the weekend, I played 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and I gotta elaborate because they're totally different experiences, but kind of the same. 3D World is that classic like hop from level to level in a world action that you're all used to with Mario, but there's a few like I got into this with Diamond Jab on Twitter because he was tweeting about it, and there's like so many distinct differences in design philosophy when it comes to the 3D's Marios. And I'm speaking specifically like Nintendo, like Mario 64, Galaxy, Sunshine. Like the design philosophies are like they're 3D, but they're very different. For example, the 3D World game, which is what this is kind of loosely based off of the DS versions, like the new Super Mario style, except they don't have the triple jump, which is like kind of a weird thing for a 3D Mario game to kind of have now. And it kind of threw me off a little bit because they give you the long jump and they give you the wall jump, right? They give you those specific tools in Mario's tool set. But I think what it really comes down to for this game are the power-ups that it gives you. Because they give you all the classics, the mushroom, the fire, the flower. You get some new ones like the cat suit, which is by far the best power-up I've ever experienced in a Mario game.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, man. And because you can climb up walls, you have like a jump and a diagonal like glide that you use. And I got to play it in multiplayer, and that game is like pure chaos in multiplayer because you can pick up your friends and like carry them, throw them. Everyone's like running in different directions. It's got the little bubble pull thing. When you get off screen, they pull you with the bubble. And then you burst it to like get them rejoin you. But like it's an awesome like party Mario game. Like if you want to play it like that, like it's like you're laughing, and even if you're failing and messing up, like you're having a great time. But the highlight of this game is, and because that game's great, 3D World is amazing, and I think I'm like 2 or 3 worlds into it, and it's been a fun time. Like I love all like the secrets and the little gems that you find in it. But Bowser's Fury, which is a newly developed like add-on to this game from like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer. It must be more than that at this point. It must be like 7 or 8. What's up?
I know you're about to get into this, but I wanted to kind of pre-ask a question. So I played this on the Wii U when it came out originally. Had a lot of fun. I loved it. The Bowser's Fury thing, is it intertwined with it, or do you like load into it separately from the main menu? Like, how does it work? What's its like, gameplay? When
you boot up the game, you're presented with 2 selections. This is kind of like how they did the 3D selection pack. You have 2 selections. You get Mario 3D World, and then you go over here, and there's Bowser's Fury, which is a separate like save file within the collection. So you have your
so it's a standalone experience.
Standalone experience. Same engine, same like you're using the same toolkit. You're not using the Odyssey or the 3D World or the Galaxy tool set. You're using the 3D World tool set, which is like I said, you got no triple jump. They give you the ground pound with the twirl up, like you ground pound and hit jump right away. You kind of jump higher, and then now they added like a little dive you can do right out of that. So like you have like some mobility, but not the complete mobility that like Mario gets in those 3D games. But to describe what Bowser's Fury is, imagine if they removed all of the like overworld aspect to the 3D World games, or like, you know, those games. There's no like traversing between like 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. You're literally thrown into this overworld. You get Bowser Jr. as a partner through story. I won't spoil that for anybody. But you are literally traversing through interconnected levels within the game. There's no load screens. You are literally just playing one ginormous Mario level that is you're ever unlocking as you collect the cat shines. This whole theme, the theme of this game is all cat, by the way. You're literally cat stuff everywhere. There's cat trees, there's cat plants, the Goombas are cats, everything's a cats. There are literal cats walking around that will follow you. And there is an event that happens during this where Bowser has gone mad. Like, he's obviously the bad guy, but he's gone crazy, right? And in the background, his like black giant shell is like spinning in the air. And then if it goes like into the air, it'll start raining, I'm sorry. And that is the signal that you're about to get into Bowser's Fury mode. And the landscape transforms temporarily when he's in Fury mode. It's raining, he's angry, he's causing lava to like fall on the ground, and like pillars are coming in the air, and like and in these modes, like in this moment you can open up like different areas in the map only when he's really angry. But it also is more dangerous to run around in the world. You can hide behind things, but you're like it's like panic mode, right? Like everything's going crazy because Bowser's mad and he's like causing chaos.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like an interesting thing, and they offer. Yeah, go ahead.
It kind of sounds like you're describing a Mario Death Stranding, because you're like, it's raining, it's all of a sudden a lot more dangerous. You got to hide. Yeah, things are coming out of the ground. You can't fucking run out in the open anymore. And I was like, this is sounding a lot like a Mario right there. It is. Figured it out.
I want to play that game again. I want to get back to that.
Dude, I reinstalled it on PC. It's an amazing game. You want a chill experience? You want to relax and just vibe, man? Play that game, man. That's what I say. But anyway, that's that game I've been playing, Mario. But if you want to hear about another Death Stranding like experience I've had, because I'm going to talk about Valheim now. And I know, Locke, you were interested in this game. So what I ended up doing over the weekend was picking up Valheim.
Yeah, I bought it. I have not booted it yet. I haven't done anything because I haven't. Like, I want to when I do, before you go into it. Sorry, I will play it, but I want to jump into it like with you guys. I don't want to. I probably won't try it beforehand. I'll probably jump in one night when you guys are playing to start it.
Perfect. Yeah. So Locke, I actually have a server that is ready to go. Like, it is running on one of my server computers, and it Quail has been using it. Me and a few other people have been using it. It's great. The game, I had a Death Stranding like moment in this game. It is okay. So let me just tell you briefly, Locke, what it is. It is literally it is Rust, but Viking lore.
Right.
That's like
right.
It's down to its core. It's like you're chopping trees, you're getting materials, you're building a house, you're building ways to upgrade, like to transition into like the Bronze Age. Like, you're trying to like modernize your stuff. But a cool twist is there are bosses in the world that you summon from runestones that will kind of like gate your progression. So you have to challenge these bosses in order to learn the next thing to mine from the world, I guess, to increase your progression into the ages.
Right.
And it's cool because the combat, like, for a indie, like for the most part, this is an indie game. Like, this is
I heard the studio was five people.
What?
Yeah.
Apparently, the studio was only 5 people that built this fucking game.
and like no joke, like the production does kind of show the textures not super sharp.
Right.
The
Yeah.
character models are very, very PS2 like, I want to say in some ways.
It's like a slightly up-resed Minecraft, because I watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in this game, and it's like it's more obviously detailed than Minecraft, but like if the camera catches like a tree really up close, it's like oversized pixels that
Yeah,
like
I
kind of
think-
stand out.
I think where they put their time in is like quality of life, smart game decisions, like
Mechanics.
the mechanics. Yeah, I think that's where they put all of their dev time and was like, let's not make a super
which is how
pretty game.
Minecraft thrives, right? It thrives on
Yeah.
its mechanics. So
Yeah.
There's definitely a wall that you can hit trying to get too good with your graphical look in a game. You know, like you're gonna reach a point.
Right.
It's like it's not quite the uncanny valley, because obviously that's like a human visualization thing, but it's a similar idea where like the closer you get to trying to make this thing look perfect, people are gonna hate it. So you might as well lean into like the slightly stylized look and have the game play a lot better than
Right.
trying to make it a realistic, you know, Viking shaders on your huts you're building, all that shit.
The beauty shots I see here, I mean,
so
it's better
Yeah,
than
Oh,
Fallout.
it looks great. It looks
It's better,
great.
it's
Yeah.
better than fucking Fallout.
so it does its lighting really well, and it has a nice depth of field that it uses to like kind of create a really like filmic look to it.
I did see some very
But-
nice light shafts when I was watching
Yeah,
some streams.
It does that really well, but like it is, I think it's there to like hide the textures and
Right.
you know like the cracks, right? But like
Right.
overall, like it doesn't like my eyes aren't bleeding, like you know what I mean? Like it's
Sure.
fine. I'm having fun playing it because I can
I'd probably
have
play this.
10 people play with.
I'd play this.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Felix, you have a PC that can run this for sure.
Oh,
I have a private server that I'm running on my own hardware that is open to anyone on our Discord who wants access to it. I'm not going to just give out the password because 10 people are allowed in at a time. So like I got to make sure that like it's not flooded or anything like that. But
Can I have a quick, before you get too into the gameplay weeds, very
do it.
specific technological question about your server? If I were to start playing on your server, how does multiplayer work versus single player? Like if there was a single player save, would we all have to be there? Could I play solo and then like hop into the world? Like how does all the interaction work?
So
What if a
think
separate
of,
solo
like-
save and multiplayer save? Could I not play solo if your computer's off? Like what's the
So here's the
Break it down.
I haven't tried single player. So as far as I know, this works like classic Counter-Strike servers. So like I can host a room locally on my computer and play passworded to myself without anybody, right? Or I can play locally, download the dedicated server client on my computer, run that when my friends are here, and then that will play. Like we can all play on that.
And
So go ahead.
I was going to say, and to my understanding, because there's a group of people at my job that are all playing this that are trying to get me to play it with them too. From my understanding, is your save transfers over, so you can move from server to server or with all of your shit.
Your character is like a class that you build.
I
and
like
then
that a lot because I enjoy a lot of single player games, but like I would love, of course, to run through some Viking fun with you guys. But a big problem with, again, for example, Stardew Valley, we were chatting about this earlier. Stardew Valley's multiplayer needs everyone to be there, and the host has to have the game running, or else no one else can play. Like it can't even be like 3 out of 4 people getting together to work on the farm. If the host isn't there, it's no go.
That's
And
pretty
so
shitty.
it kind of makes it like, why would I even start this if we're not all going to be together all the time? You know.
every character who enters a game is your independent character, which is great. That's what
dope,
you want,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And the cool thing about your character is it's like Skyrim. You jump, you level up your jumping. You punch, you level up your punching. You use clubs, you have a club skill that levels. Like right, like so, like your character, whatever you're doing, it's your own. Like any skills that you decide to focus in on and hone, you're going to be better at doing that. To what extent, I don't know, because I'm still very new at it. So that's yet to be seen. But all your inventory and all that stuff, like, it's yours. A few of the mechanics, if I may like jump into a few of it. It does eating, like the survival eating thing. I think the best out of a lot of these games try to do. You don't have a meter you're trying to fill, but what you'll do is you'll cook food, or you'll find mushrooms or raspberries in the world, and the game will remind you in the corner, like, hey, you might want to eat one of the, like, any of your food. You got 3 slots to fill up. When you fill up your slots of these 3 food items of any variety, it fills up your health bar, and then it'll eventually like deplete. But you're not gonna like die from hunger. It just lowers your HP cap, right? Your HP cap
that's
just gets
cool.
lower. Yeah,
That's
and the
cool.
amount you can regenerate will be lower. So you're not gonna starve to death. You're just gonna be a weaker.
But you're putting
when
you're
it
putting
comes
yourself at a handicap, excuse me, by doing that, because you're right, like you're not
Mhm.
your health is at 80% instead of at 100% at max.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And I think that's a pretty cool way of doing it. The terrain is fully malleable, which is awesome. Like the last thing I was doing was setting up a garden. I was getting ready to, like, you get a hoe and you just hoe down some fields, and it's great. I was having a good time with that. But one of the cool things that makes this like Death Stranding to me is we beat the first boss, me and like Quail and the rest of the people we were playing with, and we after the first boss, the game kind of tells you, hey, you can visit the dark forest now, and you can get these special new materials in the dark forest. Well, why don't you go up there and do it? So what we did is we built a cart, and you can attach the cart to like your waist, and you can like run across the land with the cart. Takes a long time to takes more stamina to pull it, obviously. And my God, this game turned into Death Stranding in like minutes, because you load things on the cart, and then enemies are like coming out of nowhere being like, oh shit, he's got shit on the cart. Yo, I want to fucking get in on this action, this cart action. And in the dark forest, more enemies like came and just like swarmed us. Crossing terrain was more difficult. I had to make sure I wasn't going over too many rocks or whatever. It was just, it was fun.
What do they call that? Where the guys like they run around? They're in the place of essentially a horse.
Rickshaws.
Rickshaw. Yeah.
Rickshaws. That's what I was literally a rickshaw.
You were a
Literally one of those. And then meanwhile, while I was out there delivering,
Make sure it's not racist anymore. Be right back.
sure, for sure, that's a
What?
good call.
Could
While I
be.
was out gathering materials, Quail, meanwhile, back at base, was like, okay,
That's what they were
I'm gonna
just
get ready
called,
for you to bring all these raw materials back. I'm gonna make a forge and a smithy, and we're gonna smelt some iron and whatever else we were doing. And it was awesome. It had a very Minecraft feel to it, but like there is a sense of progression because you're working your way towards like the next boss and like the next
Right.
set of unlocking things and unlocking the world,
And-
and it gets bigger.
And I've also heard that the bosses are also pretty punishing. That it's like not like
Yeah.
that they're actually difficult to beat as you.
Yeah,
progress.
I've heard that too. People have worked multiple days on like the second boss, the third boss, whether they're solo
Right.
or in a team. It's like a thing that they're all getting together to
Yeah,
try
it's
to
like very-
finally do.
It's like very Souls.
They're right, they're right.
Boss fights, you know.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
surprising part about it, honestly, is the combat. The combat feels good. It has like visceral feedback when you're hitting things. Like a lot of these indie games don't really succeed on that front because you're just, swinging a sword and you don't know if you're connecting or not. You just have to watch the health bar, right? Like that's what but like there is like screen vibration and like screen shake that lets you know that you're hitting your target. The sound works like really well. Like it's surprising how good it feels. And that honestly makes the combat enjoyable and fun. And like hell yeah, man, no wonder you guys are doing so well. This is actually a pretty solid early access game. Like
Yeah, like it's sold an obscene amount of copies for it being a 5-man studio. Like, what
Holy
was it
shit,
like?
yeah.
It was like 2 million copies or something like that within like a week.
I'm gonna pull up an article now, but now like all these websites are like talking about like here are the Valheim tips because everyone's freaking playing Valheim now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scoring pretty high on that SEO. Everyone's getting into the game.
okay, one day ago, Valheim game sales passed 2 million,
Right.
and then it says while its difficulties has people leave the game. I'm like, I don't believe that. People are playing that game.
Yeah, dude. It's super popular on Twitch right now.
I wonder how it started. Like, was it a streamer? Was it where did the origins of this blow up?
I I brought it up on, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? I brought it up on the podcast because I heard about it from Goth on Twitter.
Gathalion was into it like
Oh,
day
tweet,
one
like,
or something.
Play Valheim. Was he like play Valheim and then
He was like, he's like, this game is incredible. He wasn't sponsored by it or anything. He was just like,
he just said like it was like a short 1-sentence tweet like this, you know, like I wish all games were like Valheim, or like Valheim is perfect or something like that. And
it's funny because he'll actually tweet about like why a game isn't his favorite, and he'll talk about like what he wants out of like what he envisions as the perfect game. And up until now, it's like Valheim has been hitting all of those marks for him. So he's just been nonstop just talking about it. He's been trumpeting all of his horns about it.
And then from there, it kind of just, I think, spread like wildfire. You know what I mean? And then it just more and more streamers have been picking it up and playing it. And, you know, for some of these like Destiny guys that we follow, that we know, like they're all hopping on because they're used to digging deep into a game like this. And
Glad's playing it right now.
Yeah, it's pretty endless with what you can do with this game currently in comparison to Destiny. So for a content creator that loves to do nothing but play and sink hours into a game, this is like a perfect example of that. Felix, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
And the side note, the term rickshaw is still being used.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I looked it up too. It's not derived from a racist term. It's derived from a Japanese phrase that like literally means man-powered cart. So we're good.
Yeah. And then they now have auto rickshaws, and they call them velo taxis. A German company calls them that. They're cheaper than cars, so a lot of cab companies in other countries that have like thinner streets, smaller streets, you know, that have a different, you know, development over the years, use them. So velo taxis. It's
nice.
pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, that's Valheim. I thought I would give you guys an update because I know we did talk about getting into it, and I pulled the trigger. And I'm really glad there's a dedicated server that you can host.
Yeah,
and Locke, it's on indefinitely. It's literally running on my server hardware.
So it's just always running.
It's just always running. Today though, there was an update today for the game client. I had to update the server client as well. So like there may be moments where I'm like, oh shit, well I got to reboot the server now because I have to update the client.
Sure.
And that's the extent, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean
but it's a good game. So if you want the information, y'all, you just let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, man.
I'm big thinking about it. I might pull the trigger in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I think we could have a good time if a large group of us, like, you know, a good size of us get in there and start playing together. It could be fun.
And the cool thing is I can run like multiple servers and multiple like seeds, like world seeds and states, like save states. So like possibilities are endless. Like I have ways of doing that, which is awesome because the way they save their server files. But yeah, let's get to our big topic, which is literally like 3 hours ago, Nintendo came out of silence with a big 2021 Nintendo Direct. They're back. We've been waiting for it. And this is the thing that they gave us. Are you ready to talk about it, you guys?
Oh, I'm ready, man. Like you found out earlier, it's been 532 days since the last like mainline Nintendo Direct.
Not a mini, not like an Animal Crossing Direct or a Pokemon Direct.
It was
their actual main directs.
September 4th, 2019. The last time we had a Nintendo Direct.
Crazy. It's crazy.
I feel like the pandemic just like went.
That was like the last time Kevin Oates was on our show.
Plans.
That was the last time Kevin Oates was on the show.
We usually did bring
Nintendo, no Kevin.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's here in spirit and in the chat.
But so they opened out of the gate with Ultimate Fall Guys, which is, I guess, to be expected, right? Like this is the ultimate Nintendo-like game, right? Like just fun, colorful.
I'm surprised it hasn't been on the Switch until this moment. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Fall Guys is interesting to me because like that game was hot, like it was so hot, but that's the type of game that they needed to be churning out content for. Like they needed to be creating new maps, new game modes to keep people engaged, and I just don't think that they did it fast enough.
No, not at the speed that they need to. I was watching someone play it the other night, and I did see one new game mode, but that was it. One out of all the rotations. It was just
I mean, it definitely makes sense to be on Switch, like 1,000%.
Yeah.
But I wish they would create more content for it outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
What
mean,
was-
it's so
what-
good to see it coming.
Yeah, what was
Oh,
next?
the next game, some detective game, which it looks like just like a visual novel game.
Let's
So
give
I'm
it the
just gonna
title:
kinda
Famicom Detective Games.
Famicom detective. Games.
Famicom Detective Games, dude.
You
Yeah, I
mean
think I
from the
missed this
original
part of it.
Famicom? Was that where they originated?
I guess so. I guess that must be where the name comes from.
You
It
know what the
seems like-
Famicom
I don't know
is,
if it's
right?
brand new or if it's like an established Japanese.
I mean, if it's saying Famicom, that means it might have released like in the 80s.
I don't know enough to. That's a pure conjecture guess, and I don't want to
Totally.
say yes or no to that
Totally.
because of my training. But yeah, it looks like it's like Neo was saying. It's a visual novel. It's a graphic novel. A lot more animated than you would normally have. Instead of like still shots and text, like there are some
Oh yeah, it
animated
is.
scenes and stuff. So if you like anime, you're probably gonna like this because it looks like you're playing a TV show.
It does. Yeah, actually, it does look like a TV show. That's dope. Actually, that's a step up for visual novel games, and I'm here for it.
And there are two of them apparently. There's a Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, and then The Girl Who Stands Behind. So if you enjoy one, you got a second one.
Hell yeah. Let's see. The next thing was the game I'm probably gonna play next month. Monster Hunter
Monster
Rise.
Hunter,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, and it looks like more Monster Hunter World, but kind of stripped down for the Switch, right? Because it's not going to be as like lush and vibrant as like the console versions or the PC version.
Yeah, you can't.
You can, and I get it, but the fact that they're taking like the World engine, like the new, like not the classic like Generations stuff that they've been doing. They're taking what they did in World and making it on Switch now.
Making a Switch
That is-
version, yeah.
that appeals to me because the gameplay improved so much with World. I couldn't get into the Generation games. Like this
Mhm.
is portable now, and
Yeah, I mean,
that
it looks
is
and it
very
looks
appealing.
it looks good. I mean, it looks like if you are a fan of Monster Hunter World, that you will enjoy this Switch version.
Yeah.
You know, like what, like going through it, and even the cutscenes, like even the cutscenes look good for a Switch like iteration. You know, you could definitely
hell
tell in
yeah.
the game. You can definitely tell the gameplay is on a Switch, like the visually, but it still looks like it would be a ton of fun. It does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They added a few things like the wire bugs, so it's kind of like a Spider-Man like way of traversal. Yeah, I got to play the demo when they took it down from the store recently, but I got to play it before, and they added the wire bugs, which is the Spider-Man thing. They give you a dog companion now, which you can ride and traverse. You can scale walls, so movement and traversal has been like completely improved, and I'm all about that. You get to dress your dog up in cool gear and stuff. So like,
Mhm.
oh yes. Yeah, I'm watching the trailer right now. I'm playing it on the side here. It looks awesome. I'm very excited about this game, for sure.
Nice.
The next big announcement was, I think, a long-awaited game was Mario Golf Super Rush.
That's one of the
how
ones.
are you guys?
That's one of the ones I'm
loved
interested in.
Mario Golf, dude. I loved original Mario Golf.
How many other Mario Golfs are there? Like, which ones are we talking about? Because I've really never played those games.
I don't remember
only
which
played
one
the
I
original.
played. Yeah,
I only ever played the original.
I
Yeah.
played one of them.
Was there
I don't know.
a 3DS version?
I don't
Am I
think so.
am I misremembering this?
I could be wrong. I don't think so. I don't remember.
There was one on the 64, right, Locke?
That's the first one, yeah.
What's
That's
that?
the one I
Sorry.
played. Mario Golf was
The-
on the 64.
Yeah, that's the one that I played. Like,
That's the
this
one I
one
played.
this one looks like it slaps, dude. Like I
Mhm.
would buy a Switch just for this game, to be perfectly honest with you. But I'm also like a guy that played like a ton of Tiger Woods on the 360. Like I played a lot of PGA Tour on the 360, and this
Shit, man.
looks
I played
What?
a lot of Golden Tee.
right. Well, sure.
So there,
Sure.
there was Mario Golf World Tour for the 3DS.
Yeah, I knew.
So there's,
I knew
so there's
Kevin-
only been
Kevin
two.
wouldn't know that.
So there's only the 64, and then this one, and then that one. So there's only
Brought to
two.
us by correspondent Kevin
Did
Oates.
Did GameCube have one?
I don't know.
Game
I def-
GameCube had Super Strikers, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm all
I don't
about
know.
this. I'm all about this. Like, I
just
definitely
typed
won't.
in my Google machine Mario Golf series. So let's see. We've got Mario Golf 64, Mario Golf on Game Boy Color, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour for the GameCube, Mario Golf
Okay.
Advance Tour for the Game Boy Advance, Mario Golf World Tour for the 3DS, and Mario Golf Super Rush for the Switch right now.
All right.
Okay.
So there we go.
I have a huge blind spot when it comes to like the Mario sports titles. Huge blind spot. But this looks cool. It's got a story mode they're introducing, and a really cool looking mode called Speed Golf, which is
where you run, where you sprint down the course, like as you take shots.
you have to get to your ball like during a multiplayer. It's like a multiplayer match. Like you have to get your ball to the hole before the other players.
Mm-hmm.
And you literally sprint to your ball, which is like, is there a golf game where it lets you like kind of like walk the field between holes like you would on a real golf course? Like,
No,
they don't do that, right?
well, not. I don't know. I haven't played a new like a PGA Tour game in a long time. The last one I played was on the 360, and that definitely didn't exist. You just go to your next shot, like as like you're just teleported there. But
There was
you
a
don't,
game
like,
that I
casually walk.
there was a game that I
We're good.
played that allowed you to do like a preview of the hole, where it would do like a fly camera. I don't remember what that was.
Oh, that's all that exists. Yeah, but like what Neo's
Yeah.
talking about is like shoot your shot and then like casually walk down the fairway to your
Like
next shot.
an open world golf game.
I mean, I'd be
Yeah.
driving a
Yeah.
golf cart.
The entire course.
Or drive a golf cart? Why not?
In real life, or the only game that I know that allows you to do that, what you're talking about, Neo, Grand Theft Auto 5. And you can do it with a golf cart, or you can do it, but you can play a full 18-hole course that's in the center of the
GTA
game.
Proving to be the perfect
Mhm.
game still after
Still has a
20
lot
years.
of good qualities to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one was No More Heroes 3. I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is your experience with this game? Anyone here?
0.
Literally 0. Yeah.
I remember this being a really big Wii title, like a really cool Wii title. Never played it.
It looks frantic, which is the best
It
way I can
does.
describe it.
Mhm.
It looks to be a lot.
This almost
Like
looks
a
like a more
Looks
fleshed out WarioWare with maybe some longer experiences. Remember WarioWare? WarioWare was
I love that.
like the micro game collection where you would play a game for like 3 seconds. This looks like you're hopping between micro games, but they look a little bit longer, a little bit more fleshed out. There's just so many different things I see them doing in this trailer.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks very self-aware. Oh shit. End of the trailer. You see that little Akira nod? They do like a little Akira nod thing at the end there?
The motorcycle sliding.
Yeah. Oh man. It seems like it's a very self-aware kind of game. Like it's very
Mhm.
much like we know what we are and we're doing it anyway. Well, the next game, they announced a DC Superhero Girls Teen Power. Now, this is a very interesting game. Felix, what do you think?
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on.
Are
Give me a
you gonna be
second.
playing this in the spirit of consuming all DC media as the way they intended to understand all of the?
Yeah, once he
Let me
once he
see the
figures out why
game.
that-
Like, just
once
have
he,
to look.
once he figures out why that movie's not canon to his Wikipedia page, he's gonna play this on his Switch to make sure that he gets.
They got to
That's
make
the
sure
one-
I
it's a
little
consume all of it.
Pre-show humor for you.
Nah,
the
too many-
Back.
nah. Look, I mean, for a second there, I was like, well, it might be fun to play something cute. But then I was like, nah, too many microtransaction bullshit built into it.
So this game, it's all the DC superhero heroines, but they're all in high school together, and there's like combat, and it's
Looks like it's based on a
It just-
cartoon.
yeah, it looks
It
like
does,
it's
yeah.
like a. It looks like a rated T for teen kind of game. I don't know how else to describe it. Like it,
Right.
it looks like a high school drama / superhero game for sure. But all right, that's cool.
Yeah,
Sweet.
not much else to say there.
Not for,
Um,
not for our demographic, at least. I'm sure people are
Not for our
great
demographic,
shit out
yeah.
there. And, God
and
bless.
that would be the same thing for the next one, which is the Metopia.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Metopia game, this game reminds me of the Street Pass games. If you remember 3DS Street Pass,
I
and they
do.
had like the me adventures and stuff.
I wouldn't want a whole game of 3DS games.
If only we could have like Kevin Oates like call in and be like, Kevin Oates, what do you think of this is the Metopia game? Because I
You
feel
would
like
only be
this is,
excited
like-
for this if they granted you puzzle pieces and you could share those
Mhm.
puzzle pieces with your friends to put together, all of the pictures across the Nintendo universe, because that's the driving factor behind him carrying around his 3DS today.
yeah. Oh man, does he still do it? Really?
Mhm.
Shut up! That's amazing. I remember being obsessed with those puzzle pieces too.
Mhm.
All right, the next thing they announced was Super Mario Cross Animal Crossing. They're giving you Mario stuff in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing,
I
yeah,
think
like the
that's-
hats and the shells and the blocks, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man. If I was still playing this game, I would probably put this garbage around my island.
For sure, absolutely. I'm with you there.
Yeah,
But the next game,
Yeah, the next one looks good. This looks like something I
Yeah.
would definitely be into.
Really cool. Project
So-
Triangle Strategy looks like a classic
wild
RPG,
name.
but like the world and the animation style is like a 3D pixel art style. So it looks like a living, breathing, three-dimensional Super Nintendo game, if that makes sense. That's the best way I can think of to describe it.
So this is the studio that did Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, you could definitely
It's the
tell
same
that
people.
you could definitely tell that it's their follow up. Like,
Mhm.
dude,
And-
Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my top 3 Final Fantasies, and like this game is right up my alley. Like now, this would be something that I would buy the Switch specifically to play this.
It's the perfect game just for you. Like, there are games that you play with your friends, that
Right? Yeah.
like for you, just for you to experience the Switch in your hand, maybe on bed, maybe on the couch, whatever. This is just like a game for you, a comfort.
It's super. Yeah.
Like, let me just dive into something really dense and just experience
Yeah.
it.
And it's super easy to pick up, put down, play, like, because with these types of strategy games, like, the chess-based turn-based RPG is like, like one battle you could play one battle, get a little bit of story and be done, and then pick it back up later. You know what I mean? This also says it's a working title, so Project Triangle Strategy is probably
Okay.
not going to be the actual name of the
It
game.
just said
But
2022, but you can
Well,
download the
hang on there.
Switch.
So a few things. I think this developer who does these like games, I feel like they're taking up the classic Final Fantasy flag, right? Like of yore, right? But they did the same thing for Octopath Traveler. When they announced Octopath Traveler, they called it Project Octopath Traveler working title. That's like when they
did
announced
they really?
did
I didn't
that.
realize that.
Yeah, and which is why it's funny that they're calling this Project Triangle Strategy. How much you guys want to bet that this is the name of the game that they
That's
just
called Triangle Strategy.
Project
yes,
of course.
yes.
Yeah.
But I really love that they're doing these, like they're carrying the flag for these like classic RPG like
Mhm.
styles. And not only that, like they called it in the beginning of the trailer, they like named the genre. They called it, what did they call it? A new 2D HD experience, HD 2D series, which is what they're calling the style
2D
of like pixel. Yeah, 2D HD.
I don't know about
And
that.
it's what they're calling their style of like depth of field usage with the pixel art and their what do they call this, like what's that toy camera look where you
Shift.
tilt shift? Yes, very much like a tilt shifty kind of look to it. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I think this is definitely a game worth checking out.
I'm out on the name. I think it's a dumb name. 2D
Dumb name. Throw the name out, keep the gameplay. Let's go.
back to the drawing board. Maybe it's the best they got. I don't know.
Hell yeah. But yeah, this is definitely, I'm keeping this on my watch list for when this comes out. Maybe I'll even pick up Octopath Traveler for sure and try that shit out.
I've been wanting to pick that up for PC, because it's on the PC as well. But yeah, it looks good. It looks good. This is a good announcement. Next one is Star Wars Hunters.
This
Which is
trailer-
a 20-second trailer, so there's not much here.
It was
And it's-
holograms waving lightsabers, and I have no interest in whatever that means.
it's made by
Yeah.
Zynga, which also decreases my interest.
Yeah, those are like Facebook games.
they're like microtransaction machines. Is
So it's
what
like
Yeah.
Zynga
free to
games are.
play, like download it on your Switch and then play
Get
something.
time gated.
Yes.
Pass.
Yeah, get time gated.
Pass.
Yeah.
Something
All right,
with
we're
time.
passing.
fast.
All right, what's the next one? The
Um,
next one we have
Age of Calamity expansion. That's
Mhm.
the what's it
Hyrule
called?
Warriors.
Yeah, the Hyrule Warriors game.
Mhm.
I loved the demo. I didn't get a chance to play it. Like it wasn't like I didn't commit to it last year when that came out, unfortunately. Playing too many other things.
I'm
but
just not into the
the-
big crowd hack and slash. Any of
it
these, like,
plays. Try the demo out, man. It's like actually pretty fun, and they actually add like fun combos and shit. Like it's
like
cool.
I've done stuff like Dynasty Warriors, and like I've done stuff in this genre. It's just not.
Totally
doesn't
get it.
feel-
It's not ever. It's definitely not mine either. Yeah. You know.
yeah,
the
pretty
big
big next title.
announcement-
Yep.
Skyward Sword got announced, but they announced this by coming out and saying like, "Hey guys, know you want to hear about Breath of the Wild too, but you know,
They knew
how
whatever.
about Skyward Sword?"
Yeah.
It's
I'm
right now.
actually really stoked about Skyward Sword. I talk about it like every couple of weeks, just from different things. I don't know why. I just keep bringing it up, and I have been thinking about this game for a long time.
Have you
and
beaten it? Have you played it?
Oh yeah. I played it back on the Wii when it came out. I was so excited for this game, dude, and I love it. And it does have a lot of, like, I know they mentioned this in the trailer, but like a lot of their design stuff in Breath of the Wild like got its start in this game.
Mhm.
Especially with
Yeah, they talk about that. They
they
actually
do. Yeah, they called out like the stamina meter. They called out the like the item foraging to like use your items to upgrade shit. I even think the world layout, they didn't mention this. I think the world layout itself is like the most open world Zelda we got until we got, fucking Breath of the Wild. Because with Skyward Sword, it's still like a Zelda experience where you're item gated and you have to kind of follow the story, but it's very freeform in the fact that you leave your hub world, like your hub city where Link and the rest of his friends live. You leave that and go down to like the world down below, and you choose from one of 3 giant biomes, essentially. There's the forest, there's the mountains, and there's the desert. And each of these is like giant and open, and you just like work your way through there. And like you can go to the temples, you can do like, the story stuff, but there are so many other things to do and to find in these areas independent of that. And you just explore. You run around like the volcano, you run around the forest, and it almost feels like you're playing an open world game where you have different objectives besides like the main primary Zelda stuff, and it's pretty cool. I think that went into the Breath of the Wild design philosophy a little bit as well.
For sure.
Nice.
And some of the cool things that they're doing are not only are they releasing some like pretty cool looking Joy-Cons with the game. I think they look pretty dope. These like blue and purple like royal gold on it. It looks pretty cool.
One has like the Hyrule Shield icons. One has like the sword icons.
Yeah, I actually like those a lot, and
They look nice,
maybe
yeah.
I'll do it because the drift in my Joy-Cons not
Oh,
great.
mine are real bad at this point. Yeah, but they made motion controls. Is that what you're? Sorry, did I?
Yeah. I was gonna get into they talk about how they're gonna keep the motion controls, which was a huge focus of Skyward, and they're mapping that motion to like the right stick for combat, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, if you have like a Switch Lite, or if you are playing in docked mode, you can control your sword with the joystick, and that's important for this game. You can't just assign the sword to a button press in Skyward Sword, because there are literally mechanics in the game that require you to swipe in a specific direction, and it's not like one thing or one puzzle. There's a lot of mechanics that require specific sword directionality, so they had to keep that mechanic somehow. And I like the idea of putting it on the stick if you're just trying to chill and not fucking wave your arm around like it's really holding a sword.
Yeah. So this might be something I get because I never played this game either.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
And I mean, I hear it's like people talk about it like it's one of like the low tier Zelda games, along with like Twilight.
Whoever
Princess.
says that is wrong, is dead wrong.
I'm willing to give it a shot for sure. Did they say what the date was?
July 17th.
July 16th, 17th?
17th.
16th?
16th?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'm looking at I have it on the trailer right here.
today's 17th.
And then before I get into the next thing, well, okay, well, we'll talk about the next thing. But this was like kind of like the hype moment at the end of the announcement. So this page we're looking at is all out of order. Splatoon 3 was announced, and they had like a pretty hype like trailer for it. Looks pretty cool, but it looks like more Splatoon. I like to see more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be really honest with you that the first 2 minutes of the trailer was the most boring thing I've ever watched, and then it showed the gameplay, and now it's more Splatoon, and I'm
more Splatoon.
I'm all for more Splatoon. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying for a 3-minute trailer, the first 2 minutes, I feel like Splatoon's a game where you just want to see gameplay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but like they spent more than half the trailer not showing me what the new Splatoon was going to look like gameplay wise. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're making another one. I know it's super popular. I know Kevin Oates is a fan, right? That's all that matters.
I played it too. It's a tough multiplayer. It's a tough like PvP game, dude. Like it's competitive as fuck and like real challenging.
It is. Yeah, I got into it for Splatoon 2 when the Switch came out and played a pretty good amount of that during that summer, the summer of 2017. But yeah, like there's not only like different weapon mechanics and different, like all the classic stuff you'd expect in like a shooter, like, your engagement distances and the different weapons that do different things, but you got to pair all of that with like, trying to win territory by actually painting the ground with
map domination
too. So it's a pretty fun like back and forth, and then the way they show you at the end who wins is really cool because they'll add up the percentage of the map that you had paint on, and kind of give it like a little dude like they stop right before they like tell you the winner, and it's all exciting, and it's cool, man. It's a cool like super kid friendly, just like straight up competitive shooter.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a cool bow and arrow in this one. I don't know if that's been in previous ones, but they show like a still of like a bow and arrow on the girl's back.
I know.
I don't recognize that.
Back in the day on the Wii U, Kevin used to love this game, and it was cool with the controller because it had the screen in the middle, so you had a map of the game all the time, a live map of what's happening on the Wii U controller as the game was playing on the screen. So you have to like pause it, didn't have to look at the mini map. You had it all right there, and there was a like a nuke, like a big giant paint bomb nuke you could eventually like get and equip and launch, and you had to actually like target where it went on your screen in your hand as you're playing. You could like watch that like deploy and put paint everywhere, and it was cool.
That's dope.
Hell yes. The next thing that's on the list here is I'm just gonna skip over this. Knockout City. This trailer was lame. It looks like they were like pulling from like making fun of Fortnite and World of Warcraft, and these characters weren't like related to the game at all. It looks like a dodgeball game, like intense hyper dodgeball. But I don't know. It was very weird trailer. All Ninja Gaidens are coming to Switch.
That's great.
Highly recommend those games. I didn't play 3, but 1 and 2, awesome games. Awesome, really fun games. Challenging. I would even say almost Souls-like, precursor to those styles in some ways.
Yeah.
In some aspects, not like the death aspect, but like in like the difficulty and like overcoming through combat, right? Like that is where that's where I get that from. But yeah, it looks
learning the boss fights and their movements and their animations and all that kind of stuff.
Precisely. Smash Brothers announced Priya from Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
Yeah, one of those Switch Xenoblade titles.
Yes, and this excites me because Trollbeard in our Discord was like, "Oh, it looks like she kind of plays like Zelda," and I'm like, my ears went like, "Oh, did you say Zelda? My girl Zelda in Smash Brothers?" Yeah, so that I always love. Give me more characters in that game. That's the game that's never gonna die, and I love it.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like every direct sprinkles in like a new Smash Bros character or two in there.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
You gotta.
When I was watching it earlier, Twitch chat wasn't too excited about the look of Pyra, or there was like another.
Why?
They were just like, it was like, oh great, another sword character, and just all the Resident Sleeper emos just fucking spamming past the window. And this is coming. I don't know what that means. I'm not a a Smash Bros. Player. I mean, obviously I've played it, but I have not touched the Switch Smash Bros. Ever.
30% of the characters in Smash Brothers have swords, or more. I might be understating it, but like a lot of the Fire Emblem characters, like they all are sword users. Like they're, like people are like, okay, well, we get it. Swords are easy to, put in a game like this, but I get it. I mean, I'm not too. I would rather see something new and creative, but the game is more about pulling from other properties, right? The game is ultimately what it is it's a game where other games can live, right? Like other games mascots can join and have a great old time playing.
It's a fun battle.
Exactly. Then we got Legend of Mana. Not a game I've played before.
Yeah,
do you have history?
This is awesome that they're redoing it. I love it.
It looks pretty good. This is a Super Nintendo game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Is this remastered? Is this like?
Yeah. So at the 1 minute mark,
increased?
at the 1 minute mark in the trailer, they say featuring remastered HD graphics, because the game definitely did not look like this.
No.
Back then, it's got like a similar vibe to what we were just talking about with Project
Triangle Hamburger.
Project Rectangle.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's got a similar like up-res to the 2D style, but it looks a little bit different because it's not
sure you'd be playing
pixelated,
it
but
in the full aspect ratio. You're not going to have like black barred 4:3 screen.
right,
Mhm.
right. Like this is another one that I would pick up and definitely play.
Mm-hmm.
Nostalgia vibes for sure.
Hell yeah. And last but not least, we got Stubbs the Zombie makes his return. Did you guys play this game?
I have no idea what this series is now.
I have
This
no
is
idea, but
That's an old
it's-
game.
but it's so awful to look at.
You said last but not least, and are you sure about that? Are you sure
Yeah,
about those
is he
words? you
sure
chose?
that's last? Because there's something I
It
got
is
to talk
last.
about.
No. It's
not
my
last.
sticking point is the last but not least, and I think this might be last and
Wow.
least together.
And leave.
Well, I was going to say
This
it's
isn't-
not the
yeah.
last. There's something he completely isn't talking about because it's not in the article that he has that's really important to me.
What did I gloss over? Because I
What
don't
did
care
you-
about Stubbs the Zombie.
What did you gloss over, my friend? The thing that now is instantly available on motherfucking the Nintendo store that I can buy now is the Capcom Arcade Stadium, bro.
Oh, you're right. They
So
did announce that.
Arcade Archives is something I search constantly in the Switch store to find a game called Commando that I played at the local pool when I was fucking 8 years old incessantly.
Wow.
I used to pump quarters into this game for hours. I wouldn't go swimming. I would play Commando. Commando, I've been searching for fucking months, since 2017, since I've had a Switch. So Capcom is releasing 3 packs, which can be purchased for $40 or $14.99 a piece. Dawn of Arcade, 1984 to 1988. It has Commando in it. In
Dude,
addition
you
to that,
get
it
to go
has
Commando
Bionic
again.
Commando. In addition to that, it has Ghouls and Ghosts. 1942. These are all arcade games that I played incessantly. And then it has Arcade Revolution, which is 1989 to 1992, which has Mercs, Final Fight, which I played a shit ton of, where you play as fucking Hagar or fucking the blonde dude. I don't remember his name. And Street Fighter 2, which I pumped quarters into Street Fighter 2 for fucking hours. And then finally Arcade Evolution, which has Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, which I also
Hell
played,
yes.
and Super
I played
Street
that,
Fighter
yep.
2 Turbo.
I have the SNES cartridge in my living room of that.
I'm going to spend the $40, guys.
There you go, dude.
That sounds awesome. I'm so glad you got something out of this.
I fucking the whole time you guys were naming all these games and I'm going, I don't think there's anything for me. And then I clicked on this link and I'm like, what the fuck? Available now? I'm buying this. I was like, holy shit, dude. This is my jam. And there's a bunch of games in here that I saw in arcades that I never got to play, either because it wasn't the timing and another game drew me to it. But yeah, I'm blown away. You guys don't understand. You haven't seen inside my Switch to see how many arcade like original ROMs of arcade games that I loved as a child. Fucking
Like the
in there.
one-offs scooped from the store.
You can go in and type arcade classics and you get like original ROMs. They're being sold. I mean, in some cases they're way overpriced, but like fuck it, whatever, nostalgia, right?
Yeah, I'm with you,
Hey,
man.
at least it's a legal way of getting them. So
The
that's
whole
good.
direct, every time they release a direct, they release nostalgia in some form, and I thought that there wouldn't be anything in this that could get me nostalgically, and it fucking did.
So before we wrap, like I guess there was not a lot of positive reception to the Nintendo Direct.
As a whole, no. It was
A whole, yeah, as a blanket statement. Do you guys agree with that? As like, so for me, as someone that doesn't own a Switch, that is not like super ingrained in the ecosystem or the titles, like I haven't played Breath of the Wild, like I haven't played the new Super Mario, like any of that. This doesn't disappoint me because there's nothing to disappoint me on, but like it seems like there were some pretty cool things that were released. So it seems like, as somebody that is a Switch owner, that there's probably something here for you in some regard. Am I off base with that, or is it just not what the overall gaming community wanted?
Switch.
I take issue with a lot of crowd-based reactions to things like this. Doesn't matter what the genre is. I think us as gamers could be pretty stupid and reactionary about things without taking into the full perspective. In this case, I think all of the negativity from this direct announcement is purely because we did not get Breath of the Wild 2 gameplay or a more substantial update besides you will know later this year. I think every Switch Direct that I've seen has had just like a bunch of and of course I don't want to like, you know, knock the developers of all these games, but a bunch of just like not as exciting updates, things that you'd expect, like ports, upreses, updates, whatever. You get all those, then you get the one or two big reveals that Nintendo's talking about. That hasn't changed in ever. So I don't know what these amazing directs everyone seems to be remembering from the past. It just they've always been this way.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
The big information was, I'd say Splatoon 3 and Skyward Sword, and they even threw in the little nugget of Breath of the Wild. So like, it's fine. It's exactly
what you would expect. Right. What were you gonna say, Neil?
Wait, did you say Splatoon 3? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I think you're spot on, Trip. I think people are overly harsh with a lot of the way they receive like all of these like digital events that happen, right? Like the people are overly like they're expecting Mount Fuji, but they end up getting like, you know, just like some hills, right? But I think this is Nintendo breaking their silence, like we said at the beginning, after like 530 days, right? They spent 2020 not doing a whole lot of major releases, and we talked about this like 2 shows ago, right? Like we talked about like, okay, they did have some bangers like the Hyrule Warriors, and Animal Crossing was their biggest game last year, but people are missing like, when's Mario Kart 9 coming? When's Metroid Prime 3? And I know like that game was rebooted, right?
Like the tentpole titles is what people are waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And like granted, every game that they released today, they're gonna sell gangbusters. People love these games. Another Zelda title, yes. Splatoon, that's gonna sell. Like updates for Animal Crossing, the biggest selling game of 2020, yes. That's probably what they're aiming for, right? Like all these games are great. Like, not for everybody. Me personally, I'm probably not gonna love or go for half of these games, but like these directs, like all other digital events, they have to play to all the audiences, not just, you know, the people who like the Breath of the Wild game and people who like, you know, shooters, right? They have to placate the entire base that they've established, and they do that really well. You got RPGs, you got action games, you got all the bases are covered, right? Go ahead, Trip.
I was gonna say, no, I agree with you 1,000%. There are people out there, and not like 5 people. There's like a substantial chunk of people that are excited for DC Superhero Girls Teen Power. Like if it's on a Nintendo Direct, that's not a mistake. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how to make money with these titles. So
Yeah.
no one's gonna just be watching this and say, oh, you know, I only liked 19 out of 20. This fucking Direct sucked, you know? Like, no one's gonna be ready for all of these titles. But they know their audiences and they know their pockets of audiences, and they just put it all into one like info blast.
They
I
saw
think
how
they-
many. I was
We're
just
gonna
going
say
to say
Felix.
they saw how many times I searched for Commando. I mean, clearly.
I think
Yeah, they were looking at your IP specifically, and they're like, well, we got to throw this one in here, obviously.
It's got to be in there.
Yeah, I think in summary, I think I would agree that they were bound to fail without showing us a trailer of Breath of the Wild as like a blanket statement for the internet. They were bound to fail. And I think the other thing that really hurt them was the length of time, that they didn't do enough communicating through 2020. That kind of set them up for this point, because
Mhm.
you gave gamers a year, 500 days to, in their own minds, create what the next
Right.
Nintendo Direct should have been.
Yep.
And,
And
then
this direct should have set up 2021, right? Kind of give you like what to expect this year, right?
right. So I think it probably could have been better. Like, I don't want to just blindly defend Nintendo, but like it does seem like the overreaction that I saw on Twitter is just that like it is very much an like they're overreacting and just being, whether they're doing it to get likes or not, or they genuinely feel that way, I don't know. But I mean, I don't think I saw one positive thing on my Twitter feed about this Nintendo Direct, which
But
is surprising.
people,
but
they're gonna get Mario Golf. People are gonna buy the shit out of that game.
I am.
Do you guys remember?
Lockwood too, if you had a Switch.
it's true.
Do you guys remember the leaked listing of what's coming out from Nintendo pretty soon? It was just back in the beginning of January of this
Do you
year.
have that? Can you pull it up?
I can drop it into the Twitch chat. Yeah.
Do it. I gotta see
This right here, you can look at this and use this as a guide. Use this as a how mad are people going to be guide, because this is what everyone wants on this list.
All right, so looking at the list here,
And we did
got
get Splatoon 3. That's actually one of the ones
Splatoon
listed
3 is
on
on it.
top here.
but
But yeah, there's like Kingdom Hearts ports. There's Metroid on here, obviously. Down at the bottom for like, you know, ports, someone has like Persona 5 Strikers, Call of Duty Black Ops, FF7 remake. That's got to be
what? No. Okay, that tells me this is fake. Just that alone.
Oh, that told you it was fake? That one?
Yeah, I mean, well, Call of Duty as well, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, considering how the rumor for Final Fantasy right now is that it may be coming out on PC at some point this year.
Yeah,
That's a rumor.
the reason why it's on this as like a Switch rumor is people are banking on a Switch Pro announcement along with like a cloud-based version of games running on the Switch Pro. Like people are making, like Locke said, you gave gamers 532 days to make the fuck up Nintendo's entire 5-year strategy, and that's what we're getting in these fake leak lists, and why people are upset because they haven't told us anything.
Dude, and in the bottom it's like it's got Borderlands 3, Hitman 3, which is a new release, Dead or Alive 6. Like, why would that come out at this point? Fallout 3 New Vegas, that's coming to Switch. Felix, are you excited about that?
New Vegas is coming to Switch.
No, this is on the rumor. This is on the rumor sheet.
I'm never fucking playing that game again. I'm never playing that fucking. I can't play that.
And then the
ever
Switch
again.
Pro is at the top, right? Like, this is interesting. This is like a weird. I didn't see this. This is crazy. And a Zelda game called Echoes of the Past.
I think that's supposed to be Breath of the Wild too.
Oh, really?
I think that's
I don't think
what
that's like a Link to the Past sequel. Like,
because Breath of the Wild 2 isn't listed on here. They wanted to make this look legitimate, so you know, like it wouldn't be Breath of the Wild 2. They're saying they would give it another title, like Echoes of the Past.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. That's weird. Okay, I didn't see this. This is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Valhalla, maybe. Watched a bunch of Ubisoft games.
Fake, but cool.
Well, I mean,
This is
that's
fake.
not
This is
exactly.
definitely fake.
No, that's not out of. I mean, it could be fake, but that's not out of left field because they did release that Assassin's Creed pack for the older games. But yeah, I don't believe fucking Valhalla. I don't know. That's going to be hard to get there, huh?
things running on like a lot of these games running on the Switch, like this
Talk
isn't
about
the
15
experience
frames per
that Switch
second.
offers. You know, like
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 remake, like that's not the experience. It's a different kind of thing that you look for when you go for the Switch, right?
Is there any
Like,
credence? And this is probably going too deep down a different conversation, so I don't want to like go too deeply into this. But just asking real quick, have you guys heard of a rumor of like a cloud-based system for Nintendo to sell third-party games on updated Switch hardware?
So
'Cause I have-
Control is available on Switch to play, right? That intensive RTX
How in
enabled
the
game.
What does that look like?
Is that via cloud?
But it's using the cloud. You need to have an internet connection, and then you
Yeah,
are
you're
playing
not
it
running
in a
that game on your
Stadia-like fashion. Yeah, that's key. That's key to remember there.
That might be
Yeah,
where
that barely ran on my fucking PS4. Barely.
Yeah, playing on PS5 now. It's great. It's a great game.
I installed it. It actually
Oh,
was the
yes.
game, the PlayStation Game of the Month. So I just downloaded and it was an ultimate version, which has, I guess, all the DLC already with it. So I just downloaded
and the graphics upgrades too. So hell yes.
Yeah. And then I deleted the
You're gonna enjoy
PS4
that.
version. I was like, why the fuck am I keeping that on here? I was like, why did Control download twice? And I look at it, one says PS4 and the other says PS5. I'm like, fuck you, PS4. Fuck you.
That was a bug they had to work out within the past month. PS5 was accidentally downloading the PS4 version of games.
Oh.
They had to patch it so it would stop.
No,
doing that on PS4.
mine came from being pre-installed when I had one of those
okay.
external Seagate game drives that represented where my games were stored when I was on the PS4, and then I just plugged it into my PS5. So that's why that was there. You see what I'm saying? Because it was already pre-installed. Fun fact: quite frequently, I've had to take my games from the external storage, in either case on the Xbox or the PS5, and I had to move them to the internal so I can get performance enhancements. Yeah.
Yep.
So
makes sense.
that kind of shimmy I'm gonna have to be doing often in the future. Put it on the internal.
I do that dance to my PC all the time.
Put it on the internal.
I promise you, they did not test their game's optimum performance pulling that data across a USB 3 cable. They did not.
All of the games that are next gen games require you to install an internal, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Because they're not pulling their data off an external USB 3 cable. Absolutely.
But like Assassin's Creed Odyssey in my current playthrough, it was running like a piece of shit off of that external, and I was like, "How the fuck?" And then I finally was like, "You know what? I wonder if I install this shit in the internal, I wonder if it's gonna just work." Just fucking
things you're
did.
saying making sense.
Fucking did, and I was just like, "I'm catching up, man. I'm learning lessons."
Lessons. Well, on that note, I think it's probably time.
Agreed.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I've been Neo Ayoshi. Be sure to subscribe to Emerging Gamer on your podcast service of choice, the YouTube. Check us out there. We have all of the good podcast content you could ask for, all that good stuff.
Check it out.
Follow me at twitch.tv/Neo_Ayoshi. Nope. Twitter.com/Neo_Ayoshi. Twitch.tv/Neo_Ayoshi. I'm gonna come back eventually. I'm still planning on my return, like my full return to Twitch. It's not happening yet. The new job is taking up my life, so stay tuned. Trip.
Thanks for listening as well, guys. I am Trip Zero. I am on Twitch, twitch.tv/Trip0TV, and all my socials are Trip0TV as well, so I'm very easy to find out there. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Right now, main game is Stardew Valley, and there's some big tentpole titles coming out pretty soon. We got Pokemon Snap, that'll probably be a stream game. We got Kena, Bridge of Spirits, that is going to be coming out. We were just chatting about some Valheim, so we'll see where that all kind of fits into the stream content going forward into the rest of 2021. Lock and key.
Lock.
Nice. You can follow me on Twitter at lock_key. Check me out. Thanks for listening. Felix.
This is old Felix Hergood here, signing off. Felix Hergood on Twitter, twitch.tv/Felix Hergood. I haven't streamed since June, so. But hell yeah, I'm going to be downloading that Capcom Stadium game thing. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Later.